Chances are, if you're watching this video right now, you are interested in finding more gigs in tabletop role-playing games. And to that I say congratulations, welcome to the tabletop role-playing game industry. And also, it's gonna be a wild ride. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes you're gonna spend nights sleepless wondering if the thing that you did was any good, or if people actually like you, or if people actually like your work. But that's a video for another time, and for now, I'm going to share with you a few tips that I found were helpful when I first started trying to get jobs in the industry itself. So to start, I guess I should probably tell you a little bit about myself before we dive into, all this stuff, like who am I? Am I even an expert? Am I just like an imposter who has made their way into the industry? Sometimes I feel like I am, but let's focus on the topic at hand. I am Banana Chan. I am the owner and co-founder of a small board game / RPG publishing company called Game in a Curry. I also write, I also design, and I also do a lot of different stuff in the RPG community. Some of my latest work has been on Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft, Pathfinder's Dark Archive, Scooby-Doo Betrayal at Mystery Mansion, and I also recently kickstarted a game which made over $100,000 on Kickstarter called Jiangshi Blend the Banquet Hall. Though I'm still learning about the tabletop industry and myself and my writing and what excites me, I think that some of these tips might be helpful for you. But again, remember that my journey is going to be different from yours. Now that you know a little bit about me, I want to talk about two things that I think are important when it comes to self-promotion and trying to find gigs in the industry. And those two things are, one, having a body of work to show other people, and also having access to a network of people who are already in the industry. So keeping those two things in mind, let's talk about our tips. Now, the first one is using social media. And I know that a lot of people are going to be pessimistic about using Twitter or Instagram or Facebook or whatever to try and find gigs, trying to find connections with other people. And they would prefer to do it through a convention setting. But I think that for me personally, I've found more success doing business with people through Twitter, through Facebook, and through basically like Discord, right? So trying to find other people on those online platforms has been more helpful to me than trying to find people at a convention. And the reason behind this is because when I'm at a convention, it is very high stress. Everyone is at their booth and they're exhausted. They're trying to make sales, they're trying to talk to customers, or they're rushing to a panel, or they're rushing to an event that they have to do a signing at. They're not going to have a lot of time for you, unfortunately. And conventions, even though they're a lot of fun, even though they can be great for making money if you have a booth, they're not always the best place to make networking connections. And I think that making online connections through Twitter or Discord are a lot more helpful in terms of trying to find jobs. And I know that Twitter itself is sort of like a hellscape, but if you can weed through all the noise and find cool people who share similar interests as you, who are writing about the stuff that you really care about, then maybe you could follow them. Maybe you could see if there's a connection there and comment on some of their stuff. This is Future Banana realizing that I forgot to put in a disclaimer, and that disclaimer is please don't DM folks or comment asking for stuff without consent first. Make comments feel organic and relevant to their posts. You are in their space when you're commenting back on someone else's post, so just keep that in mind. Cool, and back to our video. And see if those people who you're liking and following have any gigs open. Because sometimes they're going to be posting stuff on Twitter saying, hey, I'm looking for a writer. This is the genre. This is the type of stuff that we're looking for. We're going to be paying this much. So it's good to keep an eye open for those kinds of gigs. Discord is also great for this because they are already connected to a podcast or a live stream or some sort of community where people are already interacting with one another. They share similar values, they share similar interests. And so when you're there, maybe you could find other people there that are also making their own TTRPG and they're hiring other writers. The second tip I have for you is to have a body of work ready. And what I mean by that is have some writing samples, have some stuff ready for you to show the people who you're trying to pitch yourself to. A good way to do this would be putting some stuff onto itch.io or maybe having some stuff on your website. So if you see someone on Twitter posting about looking for writers or maybe posting about a potential gig that could be a long-term thing, at least you have that portfolio, your resume, and all of your stuff ready to go on your itch or your website. So what if you've already tried all of these things? You've already tried sending out your writing samples, you've already connected with people on Twitter, and you're just not getting much luck. Well, when I first started in the industry, I was a video editor. I was a freelance video editor, and I was editing videos for companies like AdMagic and Bully Pulpit. And I wasn't really doing a lot of writing, but that was the way I got into the industry. I met a lot of people that way because I was editing videos for them. So if there is a talent or a skill that you have that you can share with the tabletop community, maybe this is something that you do regularly for your day job, or maybe it's something that you do a lot of on the side as a hobby, then try to see if there's a way for you to use those skills and then use that to propel you into writing and doing more work. Because once these companies know your name, then chances are you can start doing things that you want to do in the tabletop industry. So you could be like, hey company, I've been doing a lot of illustrations for you, and I know that you really like my work because you're paying me for these illustrations, but I kind of want to try my hand at writing. What do you think about that? And chances are they'll say like, yeah, we have some writing positions open, or they'll be like, hey, we don't have anything right now, but they might say something like, hey, yeah, my friend at this company has a position open, or they have a gig, or they're looking for writers. Why don't I introduce you to them? Okay, so earlier I said that there were 3 tips, there's actually 4. The 4th and final tip is that you could do live streaming. So through live streaming, you can actually get a lot of traction, especially if you're playing a game that you really enjoy, and other people will be like, oh yeah, this person does live streaming. Oh wait, they're also interested in writing, and they're already a familiar face. Why don't we bring them on to do a writing gig for, whatever product that we have? And so those are a few tips on trying to get writing gigs in the tabletop role-playing game industry. Hopefully those were all helpful for you. These were just some things that I found were helpful for me when I was first starting out. So I'm thinking about doing a lot more of these information sharing, tip sharing videos, just because a lot of people have been asking me how I got my start in the industry. And so I figured hopefully some of these videos are gonna be helpful for you. The next one I'm gonna put up is probably gonna be about how I got my start, maybe some more tips. Hopefully they're helpful. I don't know. This is all an experiment. If you thought this video was helpful, please give me a like. I would really appreciate it, and subscribe to my channel. I'm just, making videos like I am, back on it. So yeah, I'll see y'all next time.